Hey everybody, CW here, Card Wolf, because I'm always on the hunt for great cards. Today I'm doing something that I don't think I've ever done on this channel before, and I rarely ever do. I'm actually sending some cards in to get graded. I'm sending them into SGC, who has beautiful holders. They're the black tuxedo style holders, as they refer to them. And the reason I'm sending some cards in is right now they're running a special on brand new Topps 2023 Series 1 cards. If you send in any Topps Series 1 2023 cards, it's only $9 a card to get them graded. That is a great deal. I don't know. I don't grade a lot, and I don't know how many of you do, but most of the time it's like 20 bucks a card. It's like $25 a card. It depends on where you send them, obviously, but $9, I couldn't pass that up. So I went through all the 2023 cards that I had pulled out of that jumbo box that I opened, and I found I'm going to send in 8 cards, and I know that doesn't sound like many, but there were more I probably could have sent in, but I don't think that they would have had any chance of getting 10s. I just felt like there was a nick in the side, or the corner wasn't right, or there was something wrong with the surface. I mean, I know you think pack fresh cards, of course they're going to get 10s, but you really start looking at the card. You don't automatically send a card in because it's pack fresh. You got to really look at it and see it in the way that a grader would see it. And so there were a lot of cards where I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll send that in. And when I really looked at it, it wasn't there. It wasn't in the kind of condition that I thought it had any chance of getting a 10. And with modern cards, really, you shouldn't really settle for trying to get anything other than a 10. If it's a modern card, you should really be looking for the 10. So I'm going to show you the cards before I send them, and that's the first part of this video, and then I'm going to tack on the second part of this video, which will be me opening the box when it comes back from SGC, and we'll find out together what I actually get on these cards. So a few of these cards are the Chrome cards, came out of the silver packs. They count as part of that $9 a card deal, which I thought was awesome, because those cards are naturally going to be a little bit more valuable because they're the Chrome ones. So it made sense for me to get some of those graded. The first one is this Ezekiel Duran card. Now, I'm not a big Ezekiel Duran collector. I really, don't collect Rangers cards, and I don't really know that much about Duran. I looked him up online, and he is a good prospect. I think he's one of the Rangers' better prospects, certainly right now, but he's not like in, the top 10 or top 20 of the best prospects in the majors. So the main reason I'm getting this, it's a rookie card, it's a Chrome, and it looked to me like it would probably get the 10. It's really, really well centered on the front and the back. I also think the corners look really good. There's no raggedy edges. Just everything looks really good about this card, so I feel like it has a pretty good shot at a 10. There are 3 cards in here where I feel like the 10, for me, when I look at the card, it looks, I don't see any issues with it. It looks like this is probably going to get a 10. That is one of them. Again, I'm mainly going to get graded because it's a rookie. If it comes back as a 10, I will probably sell it because he's not a guy I collect. I don't collect Rangers as a team. There's nothing in the card for me that would want me to PC it. So this is one where I feel like it comes back as a 10. I can post that online and I can sell that, and I can, try to make up some of the money that I spent on the jumbo box, some of the money that I'm spending on grading, whatever it may be. The next card's also a Chrome. It's Gabe Moreno from the Blue Jays. Now, he has since been traded. He's not with the Blue Jays anymore. He was traded, not too long ago, and I think he's a really good young player. I actually really do like Gabe Moreno. I don't collect Blue Jays, but he's a player who I already knew about and really do like. This is another of the, I said there were 3 that I feel pretty confident about them getting a 10. This is another one. Again, just great corners, great edges. The centering's really good. I looked at the surface on these Chrome cards too. That's often where Chrome cards get dinged when you're getting them graded, and the surface on both of these cards looked really good. Didn't see any issues there, so feel pretty good about that one, and I'm going to write that one down as a 10 as well. I feel pretty confident about that. I felt like I had to get the autographed card out of that jumbo box graded as well. It's Kerry Carpenter, who is, again, not a player that I collect. It's not a player that I have heard, a lot about. I don't think he's the Tigers' best prospect. I think Riley Green's probably the Tigers' best right now, and then maybe Torkelson, and then maybe Carpenter. They have some other good young players too, so it's, I don't know about that, but it is the autograph card. It's also a parallel. This is a gold parallel, and you can see it is numbered to 50, so that also influenced my decision to get this graded. It's pretty well centered. I mean, the way that you can tell here, so you can see a little chunk of blue there and a little chunk of blue there. They're not exactly the same size, but they're very, very close. So I think the centering's pretty good on this. You can see the stars across the word there. It's also really nicely centered on the front. So I don't think it'll get dinged for centering, but auto cards rarely just get 10s. There's just something about getting auto cards graded. They always seem to get 9s or 8s. So with Kerry Carpenter, just because of the history of me seeing auto cards come back, I'm gonna say it'll probably get a 9. And I couldn't tell you why I think that. It's just that's how auto cards generally are. And I looked this over very carefully, and I think, to me, it's maybe a 10, but I think when you get a card like that graded, it just naturally comes back as a 9. Also getting this Ryne Sandberg card graded, the 88 throwback, this is the other one. I said there were 3 that I think should get a 10. This is the other one that I think should get a 10. This Ryne Sandberg is a really, I don't see a single thing wrong with this card. I think it's great. I'm giving this one to Average Joe, and I just thought it would be fun for me to get it graded before I send it to him. And I know Joe, if he watches this, will be like, you don't have to do that, because Joe's a super nice guy, and he's really kind, and he'll be like, you shouldn't be doing that for me. But Joe, of course I want to do that. I think it'll be a lot more fun that way if I send you a graded card. Hopefully it will get the 10. I think it will, and I think that it'll look a lot nicer in the tuxedo holder that SGC uses. So I'm going to write down a 10 for that. I think that's what it should get. This is a Gunnar Henderson. This is a base card. I kind of think this is going to get a 9. I feel obligated to send this in because he's the hottest prospect in the set, and I feel like I've got to at least try for the 10 and see if I get it. I don't think I will. This corner down here, I think, is not quite as sharp as it needs to be to get that 10. I'm holding it up, and I think you can kind of see maybe what I mean. It's just not razor sharp in the way that a fresh card corner should be. So I think that will probably keep it from getting a 10. I'm going to guess a 9 on that. The centering's pretty good. Slightly more on this side, on the right side here. I think it's a little thicker there, but not so much that I think they'll take it down for that. I think it's really going to be that one corner, but I feel obligated. I got to send that in, but I think that's probably going to get a 9. Adley Rushman, this is a throwback 88 card too. Also felt this was probably my favorite card that I pulled out of that box, honestly. I was pretty excited to get this. It's one that I saw earlier than, when I opened the box, and I thought, man, I really hope I get that, and I did. I was really excited about that. I think this is also going to get a 9, though. I think it's just, it's sharp. It looks good. I think it's a really good card, but I don't think it's quite as strong as some of the other cards. I kind of know what a 10 feels like when I'm holding it, and this just doesn't, I don't know. You look at the centering. The centering is pretty good. It may be a little heavy on the right again, so they could theoretically mark that down. It's really not. It's hard for me to say exactly what I think will cause this to get the 9, but I just holding it and looking at it just doesn't feel like it's going to get the 10. So again, I'm going to put the 9 there. I'm sending them in anyway, even though I think they're going to get 9s. I have to send them in anyway because it's so cheap to send these in right now. And if they do get the 10, then I'll feel really happy about that. I'll feel like, I somehow, beat the odds, or I don't know what. But in any event, the next card is Michael Harris second. Of the top 3 prospects in the set, I think Michael Harris is probably, number 2 or number 3, something like that. The 2 Orioles are, people really talking about them. But I think Michael Harris is also a really big card. I also just really like this card. I think it's a really neat photo of him diving for the ball. I like that it's the rookie card emblem and the gold trophy. I don't know how that works with Topps. I don't know what the logic is there to cause that, but I think it's really cool that it has both of those. I think it's just a really neat card, and I like Michael Harris too. I think he's got a lot of, potential. He's an outfielder for the Braves. The Braves often make the postseason. Harris did really well last year. You look at his stats back here, he had 19 home runs in his first season in the majors. That's really great. I mean, that's really great. He had 297 average, and his WAR was 5.2. I mean, those are awesome stats for a rookie. So to me, that's a really good card to get graded. SGC does do half grades, and this is one where I think it may come back as a 9.5. This Again, I could get the 10, but I suspect it's going to be a 9.5. They don't do a lot of half grades, but they do. They're much more open to doing half grades than PSA, for example. So I'm going to put 9.5 for that one. I really suspect that's what it will get, but we'll see how it goes. And of course, the last card that I'm setting in is the 1 of 5 Paul Goldschmidt that I pulled. I was pretty excited to get this. I have to get this graded. I actually don't think it's everything about this card is perfectly. We're just grading it on the corners and the edges and the centering and the surface and all of that. I would say, oh yeah, this is going to get a 10. There's one weird thing about this card that I think is going to hold it back from getting a 10, and I'll see if it's hard to pick up on camera, but I could see it when I held it up under the light really well, and I'm not sure if you can. Right there, maybe you can see it. There's a line across the middle of the card. And it's a foil line is usually thinner than that. That's a really thick line. And I don't know if it was on purpose or not. I don't know if that's just part of the printing process for this card or what. But you can see it there. It's a line in the foil. And I think that's just going to doom it to get the 9 because of that. And if it gets a 9, I'm going to break it out of the holder because, there's no reason to put a 1 of 5 in a holder with a 9. That's just pointless. And this is another card that if it gets to 10, I'm going to sell it. I don't collect Goldschmidt. I don't collect Cardinals. Right now is the best time to sell Paul Goldschmidt cards because he's the reigning MVP. There's no reason to wait on a card like that. So this is another one that whatever it gets, I'm going to sell it. If it gets to 9, probably take it out of the holder and just try to sell it raw. It just, that foil line, I don't know about that. But anyway, those are what I'm sending in, and I'm going to keep this off to the side. The other great thing about this promotion that SGC has been doing for Series 1 2023 Topps is that their return times for this, they've promised really fast return times. So I'm in Utah, as most of you guys know, and SGC is in Florida, so it's got to go all the way across the country. I'm going to send it, see how long it takes to get there. They're saying that they doing like 5 business day return, so should only take a couple of weeks to get this back to me. I hope I'm going to mail it, see how fast it gets there, and that is what I'm doing. So for you guys, you're just going to see the rest of what happens with these in a moment. I'm just going to tack that video on to this one. For me, it's going to be another 2 weeks before I find out what happens, but you guys don't have to wait. It's going to happen right now.
All right, and here we are. As you can see, the return has come back. It's in this box, which I have not opened. And my voice is terrible today. I have a very bad cold. My son and I are both struggling with this cold. You could probably hear it on the video we made yesterday with Julie Farnham's amazing rack package to us. But I wanted to film this. I'd said I would do something I'd never done on the channel before on Tuesday, and that I would never had a grade submission return on this channel. I've never done that on the channel before. I don't really send in things to get graded very often, but as I said in the video segment you just watched, they had such a good deal on this, I couldn't resist it. So I've got the box that they sent, which I have not opened. I do not have any clue as to what they graded the 8 cards that I sent them, and I have the sheet that will remind me of what I thought each card would get. And I also have my hot tea and honey in my David Bowie mug, so I'm all set. I should be able to dig in and do this without coughing too much, I hope. Alright, let's dig into this thing. Hope you guys are doing well. Like I said, I filmed that first part of the video about, it was about 2 weeks ago, and true to their word, SGC had a 6-day turnaround from the time that they received the cards to the time that they shipped them out. It was 6 days, not 6 business days, but 6 days, so less than a 7-day week, which is awesome. I love it when companies just say days, not business days. I think business days are the most nonsensical things in this day and age. I mean, come on, give me a break. All right, so moment of truth. Let's get into these and see how we did. Cut open the Tuxedo SGC box here. As always, keep those knives out of the reach of small children and men in tuxedos. Let's see what we have in here. All right, there are the cards. There they are, all lined up and nicely bound. Now, what is this? This looks like maybe, are these my supplies that I sent them in, or did one not get graded? I'm not sure what this is. What is that? We'll have to check and see what that is. All right, let's get these like, yeah, there's the back. All right, very good. Put that aside. And then take the big black rubber bands off of here. They did a really, really nice job packing these. I really am impressed by that. It looked like there was, well, it's not going to work. Okay, I've got it all set up now. I believe my name was visible on the invoice that they, well, not the invoice, but whatever that was, the paperwork that they sent. So I'm going to have to edit the video there. You'll probably notice a weird break. That's to make sure that my name remains anonymous, my real name, which is not Cardwolf. I know that's shocking to some of you. Still want to see what this is. I've not gotten into it. It looks like there's a pack in here, which, I don't know. Do they have some, maybe they have an additional promotion where you get a free pack of cards or something? I'm not quite sure what that's about. Let me see what this is here. What's a Topps 2023 pack? So that's pretty neat. It's the empty box that all of these cards came from. Well, that's pretty neat. Maybe we'll do a rip of that in a moment, and then a nice little thank you from them. We've decided to give you a sealed pack of 2023 Topps. Well, that's pretty sweet. That was awesome. What a class act! I gotta say, I'm so far impressed by SGC at this point. I don't grade very often, but and I would not have normally sent in brand new cards, but the deal was just so good. All right, so 8 cards. It looks like they all got grades, which is awesome, and I don't see why they wouldn't have. I am curious. The card I'm most curious about, and that I want to see first, is the Goldschmidt 1 of 5 foil. So I'm going to look for that, and actually there it is right there. So I'm going to look at that one first, because I really am curious to what it get. As you can see here on my my little sheet, I predicted a 9 for that because of the foil line that I showed you in the previous segment, and I'm very curious to see what it gets. I think if I put my thumb here, it will block the grade. Oh no, it didn't really fully block. Oh, it got an 8.5. All right, I predicted a 9 for that because of the line, but apparently they took off a little bit more than that. I don't know if all of that is a result of the foil sort of defect there. I'll bring it up close to the camera and maybe you can see it again. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it better now that it's like encased and it has all of this stuff around it, but there is a separation in the foil right about there across the card, and unfortunately I think that was apparently they took off, because there's really nothing wrong with the corners, nothing wrong with the centering that I can see. I don't think there was anything off about the edges or any of that stuff, so I think they took off a full 1.5 for that, which, you know, that was one of the reasons I sent it in. I was very curious to see how that would affect the grade, and as you can see, I predicted a 9, so I thought that it would take a point off, but they took a 1.5, and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that card now. If I'm going to keep it, or if I'm going to try to sell it, if I'm going to crack it out of the case, because an 8.5 is not a particularly great grade for a brand new card. I guess I could also send it in to Topps and see if they'll replace it, or offer some sort of compensation for that, because it is a printing defect pretty clearly. So tell me in the comments, what do you think I should do with that, actually, and how you think I should handle that. If I send it into Topps, I mean, it's going to be like 9 months to a year before I hear back from them, get anything, if I get anything at all. You know, it would take a very long time for that to happen, if it even works out that way. So, all right, let's move on to the remaining 7 cards and see how I did. This one is Michael Harris II, and I had predicted a 9.5 on Michael Harris II. I'm really going to try to cover up the grade when I flip it this time, and I was successful in doing that. So there, that is the card, and predicted a 9.5 on this, and I got the 10. That's awesome. That's really great. Happy to see the 10 on that. And really, I just sent this in. I mean, he's a good prospect. He has a, you know, a lot of people are saying this is a guy to watch, certainly, and I just thought the card was a really pretty card. I like the sideways, I like the in-action shot. I think it's a really cool card, so very happy with the 10 on that. I should have grabbed a pen so I can keep track of how I'm doing with these, but I did not think of that. I remember to get my tea, but not a pen, and I don't have one on this table. It's across the room on my desk, so I'm not going to make you wait any longer. The next one is... well, that's weird. These two were in plastic sleeves, as well as, of course, encased, but the remaining ones are not. I'm not sure why that is, but whatever the case. The next one is Adley Rushman, and as you can see by the back, this is in the 1988 design. I'll see if I can cover this one up to refresh your memory right there. So that's that one. I predicted for this a 9, and I felt like it was maybe slightly off center, that there was maybe a little bit with the edge that I thought would take off points there. So I predicted a 9 for Adley Rushman, and we got a 9.5. So that's pretty good. I've been a half grade off for each card so far. I predicted a 9, got an 8.5. Predicted a 9, got a 9.5, and I predicted a 9.5 and got a 10. So I'm about a half grade off, just in general so far. So that's pretty nice, though. 9.5 on that is not bad at all. I have no real complaints about that, given that I thought it was going to get a 9. So doing pretty well there. Our next one is this, it's another Oriole. It's Gunnar Anderson, or Henderson, sorry, Gunnar Henderson. I'm on a lot of cold medicine too, but I really wanted to get this video out today. I promised I would do it, and I really wanted to do it, so I hope you'll forgive my voice and my little blurry-headedness today. But Gunnar Henderson, this is a rookie card. Of course, I predicted a 9 on this. I think the centering on this card is pretty good. I'm not remembering. I'm sure I said it just in the segment before, but for me that was 2 weeks ago, so I'm not quite sure what I said about this card and why I thought it would get the 9, but that's what I am predicting on this, and there is that card there. Of course, hoping for better than the 9, but we'll see how we do. And that got the 10. That is awesome. Okay, so on that one I was a full point off, so clearly I can't be trusted to estimate grading cards. So far, though, it seems like I've been a little under. I've been grading cards harder in my mind than SGC has graded them in reality. So a very nice 10 on that. Pretty pumped about that. That is what most people are saying is probably the best rookie card in the set, at least right now before the season has started. That's how people are describing this, and very happy to get a 10 on that. That's pretty sweet. All right, so our next one is Ryan Sandberg, and this is the throwback design on this as well. Ryan Sandberg, whatever I get on this card, I'm sending it to Average Joe, which I think I made clear in the segment. If I didn't say that in the previous segment, then I'm saying it now. Average Joe, you're getting this card. I hope it's a 10. I predicted a 10 for it, so I'm hoping. So far, I've been predicting lower than they've actually gotten. So this should get an 11. Is what I'm guessing now. I think it'll get an 11. Let's see how we do. As you can see, there's the card. I thought this looked really good. I thought this had a really good shot at getting the 10. I got the 9.5. Well, still not too bad, though. Joe, I hope you are still okay with that card. I didn't tell Joe I was doing this, and he won't know until right now. But like I said, whatever grade it gets, it's going to Joe. So, Joe, this one's coming to you, buddy. Hope you enjoy that. Next card is the autographed card. Kerry Carpenter, who is not a big prestigious rookie or anything like that, not even the best Tigers rookie, probably not even the best second or third best Tigers rookie based upon all the great young players that they have coming up for them. But it is out of 50. It is, because of that, and because it's an autograph, I thought, might as well just send it in and see what I get. I thought I would get a 9 on this. I would be utterly shocked if I got a 10. Autos never get 10s. It's just very, very, very rare for an auto to get a 10, so I'll be very happy if it gets the 9. If it gets and it got, okay, so it got, the auto got a 10, and the card got a 9.5. That's pretty nice, actually. That's really nice. And as I said, this is a 1 out of 50, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that either. I don't collect Tigers, really, and I also don't really know too much about Kerry Carpenter, so I may post that one for sale. It's like I said, it's out of 50, so I think there's probably going to be some interest in that. It's really just kind of deciding, if I want to try to keep that and see if the value will go up, or if I want to sell it now and see how it goes. I'll have to read up on Kerry Carpenter. That would be the first step for me. So the last two cards are both Chrome cards, and I predicted a 10 for each of these, which was very bold because Chrome cards are very hard to get 10s on because the surface scratches so easily. It picks up any little scuff or scratch because the Chrome surface is it's very sensitive to wear. But since these were pack pulled, and I looked at them very carefully, I really felt like they both would get a 10, which would be really great. So this is Ezekiel Duran, and that covered that one up pretty nicely there. And of course that's the Chrome, and it's the throwback. Pretty nice card there. And let's see, it did get the 10. Well, that's sweet. I can't complain about that at all. That's pretty awesome. Very nice 10 on that. I don't collect Duran, so that's one that I will probably turn around and maybe post for sale because he's not a player that I really know much about or collect. I don't collect Rangers either. Gabe Marino, I actually do know a little bit about and really kind of like this guy, so this is one that I'll probably keep. Again, I predicted the 10 for this, and I hope I get it, obviously, but like I said, Chrome cards are very hard to get 10s on, so let's see how we did there. There's that one, and it is a 10 as well. All right, so I predicted right on with those two, which is great. Makes me feel a little bit better about my ability to guess grades, so that's a big plus there. That's pretty nice. And there's the Michael Harris also got a 10, which is very nice. And of course the disappointment, I guess, was the 8.5 on the Goldschmidt. Again, let me know in the comments what how you would handle that if that card came back to you. I'd be very curious. Kerry Carpenter at a 9.5. That's a great grade for an auto card. Honestly, that's a really solid grade for an auto card. I'm pretty happy about that. I wish this had been a 10, but it's still a very nice card, and I hope Joe enjoys it. And then the 10 on the Gunnar Henderson's really great. Happy with that. And the Adley Rutschman 9.5 is also really great. Happy with both of those Orioles rookies. And there you go. That is the first ever graded card return here on the Card Wolf Network. And I hope you enjoyed the way I formatted that with the video showing them raw before I send them out and my predictions. And I really am curious to know your thoughts on this video and if this kind of content you would like me to do more of. I feel like, now that I've sent in another submission, I feel like I'm kind of, in a groove. I could send in another one. And I also, I've got this pack too. I should open that. Maybe I'm not sure. Maybe I'll open that. I've got some other baseball packs that I want to open too. So I think I'm going to set that aside, and I'll open that pretty soon. And maybe I'll pull something else that I want to get graded. We'll see about that. I think the SGC deal is still going on. I think it goes on until the end of the month. So if you've opened any 2023, you can do the same thing that I did. It was $9 a card, which is extremely low price for grading. And as you can see, I think these are really, I love the SGC slabs. I think they're really beautiful. I like them a lot better than PSA slabs. I think PSA slabs look sort of clinical, like you've sent them a urine sample or something. And these look classy. I just love these slabs. They're just, do a very nice job of highlighting the beauty of the card. So anyway, let me know again what you think of this video. I'm very curious to know if you like this content, if this is a good thing for me to do more of on the channel. I hope you guys are having a good week. It is Tuesday as I'm filming this, and I'm hoping that tomorrow when I do my pack battle with Average Joe, my voice will be back to normal. All right, you guys, take care, and as always, happy collecting.